Hello everyone, this is Oran Tamarasu here, and you're watching me play Persona 3 Reload, where we kind of continue up. And for the first part of this recording, I did a little bit of grinding on stream on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/OranTamarasu. So you are wondering, yes, I am actually doing a voice over this, and you're wondering what happened. So if you watch the first 10 minutes of it or 10 seconds of it, it's basically means that my audio got cut. So it's like I did some test recordings, like went back to my VOD and everything else, but it only showed my voice. So you're wondering, why don't you just go back and re-record everything else with the voice over it? So it's like, well, it kind of took me some time and everything else, and I was having some issues with technology and everything else. So you're wondering, what parts of this video are you going to be showing? So we're going to be focusing on doing some social links right now within this 1 hour playthrough, so you'll see later on. So it's like I'll be doing the Heyman, I believe, with the school elementary school child, I believe. And also we're going to be doing the linked episodes, I believe, with the first one is being with oh, I'm blanking out what his name is. It's Junpei, I believe, his name. So that is what I'll be doing, and also doing the elderly couples social link. So that's what I'm gonna be doing this entire playthrough. So you see, like here, that there's some little bit of bugs in this playthrough. So if you guys don't notice, I've been playing Persona 3 Reload. This is actually a modded version called Just a Phase. So basically, it's a modded version where their skin outfits or their outfits are actually based off like the emo era, or like just a phase is like you're going through a phase like an emo era. Like usually most of the outfits here is like My Chemical Romance and everything else, and it's like that kind of era, like the high school era, like in those era. If you've been to America and all that, usually that kind of era in the clicks, like in the 2000s area. So it's all that. So also some of the music I did do is I had to edit the music with the mod, where I had to take out a lot of those music from the Tressa Face mod, because a lot of it contains like copyrighted music, and it's like, oh, DMCA stuff. So we just want to avoid like any legal issues, like just in case if these videos get monetized in the future. That's what I'm going for. It's a That's what I'm trying to do. So you're wondering what you're gonna do within this next few hours, or the next talking, in a sense. So it's almost like you're trying to say like, oh, why don't we just do the entire playthrough so we can just listen to the gameplay and everything else. So I just wanted to do something a little bit differently. So if there is more audio issues in the future where the gameplay does not get recorded and all that, I'm gonna be doing more voiceovers, and also like a little not like ranting videos, but more like informative, like what's going on with life, or something with my streams, or anything else in general. So, sometimes I could ask or answer, actually not ask, if you guys think I should be doing this or doing some other stuff. And also like doing voiceovers, or like maybe if you want to see me play other games, I'm all up for it, because I'm also doing like some other stuff. So on stream, I don't know if I did edit this, but I think I might do Final Fantasy in a sense. I think I did Final Fantasy, but I'm gonna be doing a lot of walkthrough games and like story games and everything else, RPGs, mostly recorded and edited here. And it's like you don't see me play a lot of League of Legends or like Valorant lately, because I don't think my type of gameplay or videos I want to do is going to be something like that, because I played League for almost 10 years and Valorant for like maybe 2 to 3 years before I retired. Not like retired, but I uninstalled it and I don't want to play anymore, because right now the game for me is unrecordable right now, because right now I try to record it and next thing you know the files get corrupted, or something happens with my recording software and it's not going the best I can. And usually when I do stuff like Valorant or League of Legends, I would do a compilation of all the best plays that I can do in types of games like MMOs or everything else. Something like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals and everything else. So on the topic of those types of games, I will not play Marvel Rivals on this channel. You will not let me see me play it. unless they actually release Nightcrawler. And if they release Nightcrawler, then you'll see me install this game and play a lot of Nightcrawler. Unless Nightcrawler is one of those battle pass where you have to buy and everything, then you'll probably will not let me see me play Marvel Rivals, because Nightcrawler is one of those people that I kind of adored, or Jubilee because of the fireworks and everything else. So, and also I saw like people like, oh, these other characters is usually like people like certain characters or certain comic book villains to heroes to anti-heroes, something like that. So right now, the future of this channel. So the future of this channel is going to be a little bit here and there, I can say, because sometimes you wonder like, why aren't you recording quite as often, like an everyday thing, or why is editing a video like take you a little bit longer, and why don't you hire like other people to do some work? Well, financially, I am not able to do that. I would love to, but I can't, because it wouldn't set me right to have someone edit my videos and they don't get paid. And that's where the things an issue comes in, because I do want to hire like an editor, but the thing is, money is also tight, and sometimes it's an issue. Sometimes yes, because why would you want to edit my videos and then you don't get paid for it? That's the thing. But also at the same time, I do care. I do want to give you like those payments, like, oh, once you edit this video you get paid this amount of money just to edit this video, depending on the prices and everything else. I do want to, if you were an editor, I would pay you, but right now financially I can't, so that's why I'm editing my own stuff right now. And that's why sometimes when you're on a budget and everything else, and you're doing a lot of other things to help other people and rise and succeed. So that's another thing. So right now, if you've seen this playthrough right now, like I know there might be some stops or what, something similar to that, you see me doing social links. Like I said, in backtracking to what I said, is I've been focusing on social links and trying to upgrade my stats. So like my charm, my like confidence level, my smart levels. That's a lot of things I'm doing in this video. So you're wondering, what else can you do besides all this? Well, the thing is, I have two music in file in my drive right now. So one of them I'm focusing on the cover, but I putting it on hiatus because I'm doing a lot of karaoke off stream and sometimes on stream. You guys hear me sing like la 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 and all that, because I'm actually trying to practice like my vocal range, and also trying to make sure and everything else. And also sometimes my lyrics seems to be a little bit not so fitting, and sometimes it's my timing. That's why I'm probably gonna find some people or like get some help trying to write lyrics, and also figuring out like, hey, can you help me write lyrics, or can you help me do this? And also, if I do like a lyric video, it's like it's the easiest for me to edit, where I could just put like word art or something over it. It's like a lyric video, like a karaoke video, or like a sing-along version. But if I were to go all out with these types of music, if I wanted to pursue like something in the musical creativity industry, which I adore so much and I want to do it, timing and the effort and putting your mind into it is something that I want to do. But at this point in time, it's kind of very difficult in a sense when you're trying to be stable in life, because you have to juggle focusing on your own self and also trying to juggle with things like having to make sure that you are doing something for yourself, and also making sure that everything else is fine and dandy. And that's something I like to do. But sometimes in life, it can go yes or no, in a sense like that. But also, there are some other things within life where it's usually not beyond our control. So usually when you're scheduled, like at work, sometimes you don't get like a weekly schedule, and sometimes you don't like you get the same amount of hours depending on your work, and sometimes you don't. And sometimes it's not really like a set schedule because sometimes it's not really set. And sometimes if things happen. And usually when you are scheduled for work, that's how it is. That's where I stand with work lately. So you're wondering why have I not been streaming like super early or usually late at night after work. Usually I take time to digress, to like de-stress myself from work and trying to make sure that I am relaxing, because if I worked all the time, then it's like, where is that time to rest and everything else? So you're wondering, maybe you can do like a short stream or something, like maybe 2 hours to 4 hours after you digress, to de-stress yourself, to make sure that your health is important and everything else. So it usually also depends on my energy level. Sometimes I have super high amounts of energy, where it just happens randomly. Sometimes you never know, but also at the same time, it's like that sense where you don't want to stream because you just got out of work. But at the same time, if you schedule like a, a date where you're streaming on that day and you sometimes don't go with it and sometimes you do, that's the thing. So you're wondering schedule wise, why don't you make a schedule? So last year, a couple of years ago, I did go through a process, a schedule where I'm like, these are the days I'm streaming this time to this time around like Pacific Standard Time and all that jazz. And I went through that because I had a lot of free time, and also I was able to stream on certain times where it can actually work in my benefits. But at the same time, it's like, wow, what are you doing? And why aren't you doing more of this? So it's like, there's nothing a lot for me to talk about when it comes to stuff like time management and also stress management, health management, and everything else. Sometimes it's like you don't get a say in your hours. Sometimes usually you work like maybe 6 hours, 8 hours, but usually in part-time jobs and sometimes like that. Usually some hours can be like maybe 4 hours or maybe like 6 hours or 8 hours, depending on how many days and hours you work. So besides the financial stuff and me working, and also why I haven't been streaming a lot or why I haven't been posting a lot of content, is because of time management. It's mostly on me because I could have edited, I could have recorded off stream, or a lot of other things I could have done, like post shorts on YouTube, and also like figuring out that momentum that I can do in life. I would love to record stuff and also do a lot of stuff. I just want to make sure that I focus on myself, because if I pull out like a stream, my own stream, and I do like, or play with friends and I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna be recording this, to me, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me or sit right, because I just feel like it doesn't really help me at all. I just feel, when I say that, it just, I feel bad in a sense where I play video games off stream with friends, and then next thing you know, I ask them, is it okay if I record? Like a whole collaboration, and also crediting them. I always credit people, but sometimes I do forget. But at the same time, I just want to play the games with friends to be personal, to build that personal friendship that you have with other people. So, what does it mean for collaborations? So, in some collaborations, there are games in the future, or anytime I do collaborations with other people, it's that momentum where you turn on stream and say you're doing this and doing that. I personally do want to collab with other people, and but the thing is, I need people to reach out to me, because I'm the kind of person who rather be reached to than me reaching out to others. But the only time I ever reach to others is if I'm asking them for art stuff. Like usually on Twitter or like other things, I would actually ask them, hey, are you opening commissions right now? I would like this or that. It's kind of confusing in a sense. Where why don't you reach out to other people to collaborate, like how you're doing to reaching out to artists who you asked for commissions and all that. I just feel like it's easy for me personally to reach out to artists than actually just reaching out to other people. And you're wondering, hey, so do you want to collab? But I have this urging feeling like if I ever collab with other people, I feel like I'm gonna be that anchor to me. To me, I feel like I'm anchoring them down a bit because a lot of people do not know me. A lot of people know the person that I collab with a lot more than me. And so it's like, I don't want to bring the momentum, the move down for other people because I feel like it's not fair for them just because they're going with people they know about, their friends. And of course, if you collab with friends and you have that comfort space where you do want to play games with them somehow in some way. And so it's like kind of upsetting in a sense to me, and that the only part that upsets me is that it's myself and my own fears and insecurity where I want to collab with others but I don't want to, in the sense that I feel like I bring the mood down and the kind of energy that I bring to the table, or what could I have brought, or what can I do, because a lot of people are comfortable with people they know, and so a lot of people don't really know me. So it's like sometimes you may know me or you may not. That's how it is. So it's kind of really hard to talk about this when you feel like at your most vulnerable state. So you're wondering, what other things do you like to do? I like to make music. I want to make music. I want to be able to say my heart out, become like this online idol in a sense, because I don't see myself going like full on blown out singing and dancing in a sense, even though I want to do that, but I didn't have that momentum built up yet, the confidence to build up. And people who done that have years and years and years of experiences practicing and being motivated to do this for a living. And I wish I had that kind of self-esteem, this high boost in confidence to do all these things. It's very challenging where you put yourself out there but not really put yourself out there. So what I mean by that is you want to put yourself out there, you want to do things in a way where other people can do what you want to do. And it's like, yes, sometimes recording videos or doing things like this is sort of like easy for other people who have been doing this for years and years and years. But for those who have been doing this for days and days, know that usually the momentum, the things like the views and everything else, people will try to do what they can to, not, when I say out themselves, it's more like trying to exposure, like exposing yourself to your kind of content, to the things that you do. It's what it is. It's YouTube, like the social media, to me is like a business. It's like, how were you able to expose yourself, to market yourself, to be like, this is the content that I do online for everyone else, and it's like, hey, this is the content that I want to do. And also, if other people have the same kind of thoughts or same kind of momentum, same kind of vibe you get, like the kind of friendship vibe that you do, it's like, I want to vibe with this person, I want to be friend with this person, let's talk to each other for like a few days, and then let's play some games offline to see what kind of vibe you get. It's sort of like a friendship vibe check to see how you are in a setting. Because in a professional setting, when you collab with other people, it's like, what kind of vibe do you get? What games can we play together that doesn't seem to be like too competitive or like too out there in the world? But it could be competitive, but it also depends on the kind of personality you have. So sometimes people can be nice, some people can be mean, some people can be toxic, some people can be non-toxic. There's also a thing where you have to divide yourself between your workplace feelings and your personal feelings aside. So sometimes you build this friendship like super super much, and it's like you're friends for a while and it's like, yeah, let's do this. But when you do like collaborations and also play games with one another and you're actually streaming it or doing it for content, that's almost like in a professional setting, where in a professional setting you want to be able to show your different side of you, where this is the competitive side of me, this is my gamer side, that this is the type of things that I do on stream. But sometimes it's like you're building your own personality. It's like if you see reality shows, you're basically building your own character. And also sometimes people will say it's kind of hard to actually put on, when I say put on a face, it's almost like saying like other people will think that you're not being real sometimes. And to me, I can be 100% real with people sometimes. And it's usually that time where it's like, if I have to tell you something, I'll tell you. Just tell me. And then I'm like, so if they tell me what do you think about it, I'll be straight up honest. I'll just say it straight to your face. I can be a little blunt sometimes. I don't like confrontation. I just want to put my own criticism somehow without hurting your feelings, but also give a good critique. So it's like, yeah. So you're wondering, why don't you? So, that aside, let's move on to another topic like collaborations. Backtrack into collaborations. Why don't you collaborate with like your VTuber siblings? Because since you all have the same, like when you say art mama, it's almost like the same creator that did all the artwork of everyone else. Or why don't you collaborate with your friends or do something like that? So usually in a Discord, we usually do have our own collab thing. Sometimes you write it down and it's like, okay, we're gonna collab this. Just time and date and everything else. So for me, I just say the game and I don't say the time. The reason why I feel like I failed to start or host a collab is my own not undesired. It's more like my own negative feelings. When I say negative feelings, it's like that confidence that you feel like you may not show up, or you feel like you're a failure in a sense. So you might be mistaken this for, I guess, imposter syndrome, I guess, because because for me it's like, why would they want to play games with me? Why would they want to do stuff with me? Because that's how it is. But at the same time, I'm actually happy for what my siblings are doing. So usually it's my own thought process where they're doing their own thing. They're making a life out of their life and they're doing fine. A lot of siblings I don't talk with a lot, and I wish I could actually build personal relationships, but it's just the time and date. And also, usually sometimes I don't know when they're available, and I really want to shoot a message to them to tell them like, "Hi, how are you?" And I'm like, sometimes it's a lot harder in a sense where you want to collab, and also but also at the same time like visit in a sense. Sometimes visiting like people can be the super super scariest experience ever, but at the end of the day, you yourself and I and also the friends that you have met online are all feeling the same length energy, in a sense, the vibe that you get. You all have that anxiety to be like, oh my gosh, am I nice? What am I gonna do? Like, like you can like get a little bit frazzled, and it's like if things don't go a certain way, it can go you can either go left or you can go right, and sometimes you may end up going left and then they may end up going right. So usually those different perspectives, those different mindsets, everyone works differently. Everyone works kind of in a length where you all think a little bit differently and speak differently. Sometimes your views on things may differ, but that's okay. Usually, some opinions do matter because sometimes it's like, what is your opinion on this? Or is your opinion on that? Sometimes it's like looking at a two-sided coin, where if you look at one side, they'll think this side or think outside the box. There's also different kinds of thinking patterns of when you meet someone else. So if I were to meet my VTuber siblings, you have to keep an open mindset no matter what. And you may feeling the same anxiety levels to be like, will they like me? Will they not? Sometimes both sides will probably think the same thing, but at the end of the day, you're just friends, you know? You've built this repertoire where you are with them. Like, you know them for like a year, 2 years maybe. Even if you don't talk a lot, you've built that relationship somehow in some way, like one little quick message or anything else. That's actually someone that you see, someone that you do, and sometimes that's how it is. So going to the question of collaboration, it's like, what kind of games would you do? So sometimes it could be like racing games, it could be like RPG games, multiplayer games. It just really depends on the vibe that you're getting. Sometimes some of them want to do visual novels. All I can say is if one of my friends or VTuber subjects wants to do some kind of voice over visual novel thing, I will be the first, well, not the first one, but if they actually open up and or like ask about it, I will ask them to see like if there's an open slot. Sometimes I want that availability to be like, hey, are you open for this slot? Even though it's backtracking to where I get a little bit anxious sometimes to message about collaboration because I feel like I'm bringing them down. I've been trying to want to do collabs last year, but that means like, why did you say something where you said you would collab with other people, but you backtrack to saying something else like that? So if you guys are wondering, well, last year I wanted to collaborate, but I couldn't because of stress and also like just moving out. It's the scariest experience ever. But now my New Year's resolution is try to collaborate with other people, play games with new people, and also try to open up to like different kinds of people. It can be a scary experience, but sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I accidentally ghost others, like Donald Walden, and I don't want to do that anymore. But it just tends to happen depending on some things that you have no control of. Sometimes it's imposter syndrome, sometimes it's your anxieties level, sometimes it's just a lot of things. Sometimes they're like, oh, well, people like me. Will they like me? Or will people like the siblings or the friends that I make like me enough to start a collaboration? I do sometimes get a little bit anxious, sometimes a little bit upsetty spaghetti on certain games, and I guess that's because of my own personality that doesn't like to lose sometimes, but it just shows my competitive gaming side because sometimes you want to have fun, and sometimes there's a downside to having fun. When I say downside to having fun, there is good fun and bad fun. The good fun is, yeah, you're playing with other people, you're having fun, you are doing something that you like and something you all that. The bad kind of fun is when you bring the mood down or like do silly things or like that can end up making them hate you a lot. Like saying the wrong things or like doing things. Like there's a boundary to all this. So there's a boundary to being a competitive gamer. And I can set that aside to be like, let's just have fun, let's just do what you can. So a lot of the times the past few weeks ago I played Fortnite with other people and you're wondering like, oh, You played Fortnite. Oh my goodness. So it was just a group of us, a group of friends playing Fortnite. And we were doing like a box. There's a mode called box, and it's like a battle royale, and basically you just grab like a set of guns, and then or like like your assets or like your arsenal to to fight other people. Sometimes you can tell like when you play with your friends or play with other people, you can tell like what is your gaming knowledge, what is your gaming level. You can tell who has more experience, who hasn't. Sometimes I tend to really sometimes throw games, not just because I do it on purpose. It's because at the same time you want to give an experience, like you're teaching the experience to new gamers or to those who have played for a while but not too much, but also give that same exact fun in a sense where it's good practice for them. Sometimes there's this super competitive people like the diamond ranks or the super hardcore players, the sweaty players who know what they're doing, versus other people who haven't haven't played as much as before. So there I make sure I balance myself to being a super competitive person who wins a lot, who really, really wants to work really hard. There's also me being in the middle where I don't try too hard, but I also don't try too hard. But also at the same time, also have fun instance without throwing games. So the other side is there are a lot of people that doesn't like people throwing games as much, but that's sometimes I would throw games because not because of me doing it on purpose. When I throw games, it's because why would you want to be friends with someone who wins all the time? There needs to be a balance when you win all the time and then not win all the time. Sometimes in strategy games or winning games, it's like you want to set that aside because if you just keep winning a lot, where's the fun in that? Like you're just gonna keep winning and winning and winning, and it's like we already know who's gonna win this game. We already know who's gonna do that. There's that mindset, but also at the same time, if you keep throwing games, you'll be like, we've seen your gameplay a lot. We know you've been throwing games a lot. It's like, well, you had to learn how to balance winning games and losing games. So if you plan to win a lot of the games, you have to make sure you balance that out and say, try to tone your winning side just a tad much because sometimes it can get a little bit things. But if you know that people play certain things, it's just how it is. And sometimes you win games, sometimes you lose games. And that's what sometimes it can be about, you know? So it's like, huh, so you're doing this or you're doing that. But at the same time, you're throwing games or winning games? Wow, I can't believe this. But sometimes it's just how it can be. And so it's just the way I see things. And sometimes people may not like to win, some people may not like to lose. And all I can say is if people don't want me to throw games, I'll start winning games. Then I'm like, okay, I'll win games then I promise you that you're gonna regret everything you do. And if I start winning games, and then I'm like, okay, then I'll start trying to lose a few games here and there. But still, there's that upsetting thing where it's like trying to say like, hey, so I might not be winning a lot, or I might be winning sometimes, and it can be a little bit doozy. It can be a little bit upsetting if I don't get clarify myself or be able to like say like, hey, I'm throwing games or I'm winning games. There is something like that, and I want to be like super super fair as much as possible because it's like I just want to be friendly and also at the same time making sure that we all have different things and that's how it's supposed to be. And that's how I see it. But that's what it is. So pushing the game aside, pushing the collaborations aside, since I did talk a lot about it. So right now we're gonna go on and try to focus on the future. So it's like, yes, backtracking to like doing collaborations, to talking more like what kind of content you do, and everything else. So right now, you'll probably see me talk over or like play some more games like Persona 3 Reload. I might do some more of the Final Fantasy X streams more often once I grind off stream, because in Final Fantasy X I'm focusing on Wakka's overdrives. So it's gonna be a lot of Blitzball and also trying to make sure I unlocked all of that. And once you unlock all of that, you can actually now focus on trying to get the ultimate weapons. The ultimate weapons are like the easiest you can do so far, and it's just how it is. So once I complete Persona 3 Reload and do more and some more of Final Fantasy X off stream too, that means I need to focus on the other games. So Trails of Cold Steel 1, it's still going to be on hiatus for a bit because I still want to have fun with the games that I want to play. And I will be streaming that on YouTube as much as I can without copyright, so I don't get like demonetized or something like that. So you'll be seeing more of Cold Steel. You'll see me more of Persona 3 Reload, Final Fantasy X. So what's the other thing that you're doing? So I will be doing an edited version of me playing New Game Plus Chaos Mode of Star Ocean Second Story Remake. I just had a stream as of today, as before this video gets uploaded, that as of January 16, 2025, I did Chaos Mode of Star Ocean. When will that video be out? Sometime in the future. A little bit toned down, a little bit like edited, I guess, but it's gonna be a lot of editing. Like, I will keep some of the story stuff there, and I will keep some combat there. But also, there might be some points in time where there might not be some of the super super funny moments, where it's like the crack moments or like something else like that. So it just really really depends on what kind of boots sets in. So it's like, okay, what is the next thing you're gonna be doing? So sometime in the future of next month, I'm gonna be doing a collaboration at some point, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet because it's not set in stone. It's planned, but it's not set in stone. So yeah. And will I be able to record it and also upload it? Momentarily. You know, I want to record it and be able to showcase that this is what it is, you know? And it's just how I see it. So, besides that collaboration, besides the RPG games I'm mentioning, oh yeah, are you gonna update your model? So, 2.0 will 2.0 or won't be until 2026 or 2027. That's my plan. That is my huge plan that I want to do. Because I need to focus on editing, not editing, but having models rigged. So I need to get my other models rigged so I can be like showcasing like I'm diverse in my models. And it's just how I see it. Being diverse in your models, being able to say like different effects. So I will be doing in the future, if I get a capture card working and everything else, I will be showcasing Mega Man Network 1 through 6. And then sometime in the future, I will be doing some other games too, besides Mega Man Battle Network. I am going to be trying to upload or like play like stream like other sci-fi games like the Mega Man series or like playing Mega Man X Dive. So Mega Man X Dive is one of those games I do plan to play in the future, but not anytime soon. But what is gonna be coming up soon? So the game Tales of Graces F is coming soon at the time this video uploads. I will also be doing Suikoden 1 and 2, the Dunion the Dunion War or something. I forgot how to pronounce it. And that's another game that I'm gonna be planning to stream. So when before Suikoden 1 and 2 come out, I'm gonna be trying to play that game 24 hours at least, or trying to like play the entirety of it, like 100% it, getting the 108 stars of destiny. It's how I see it, and it's just kind of hard to explain where you do certain games and you haven't played. So one of the games I wanted to play was Silent Hill, but paying $60 for that to stream it, and then no one's there to watch you. So it's like I want to play horror games, but I want to be able to build that momentum, to build that confidence level, not confidence level, build the viewership levels, to be able to say, do people want to watch me scream or be horrified? And is this the kind of things people want to do? So off stream, if you guys don't know, is I sometimes will scream at horror games. Sometimes it's super super scary, and I get scared very easily. So it's like, if you've seen clips on me on Twitch, it was like maybe 2 years ago that I screamed when someone played a horror clip when I was playing Valorant, and I was playing content wording with other people, and I got super super scared. And I would love to showcase the horror genre in this channel, to showcase I get super super scared super easily. And yes, another games I want to play is more horror games, but I need to find the right people to play horror games with, and sometimes it's like it's just it's just how I sometimes see things, in a sense where you play horror games and sometimes you don't play RPGs and everything else. So if you guys have any other questions, you can always comment on Twitter at Oral Amaterasu VT or Oral Amaterasu. You'll probably see a redhead like me there. So this is my Twitch channel, or you see me like a redhead or something similar to that. I might be setting up something where in the future I might be writing a story. So this is spoilers. So besides the model 2.0 in 2026 2027, getting my models rigged this year, I'm going to be writing my lore book. It's gonna take me a longer time because of work and everything else, and time and everything else, but I'm gonna be doing other things too that I plan for the future. So you're wondering, why don't you play like other games like MOBAs, like maybe like Final Fantasy 15 online, or like World of Warcraft? Those games are like subscription based, and for me personally, I don't I do want to play it, but I don't want to spend money on games that I know for sure that I might not play a lot. When I say not play a lot, it's just finding the time to play a lot, play those games, because I know for sure that I will play other games because of how I am. So I might be playing with the same people, other same things like over and over and over again, because I'm used to those things. Because off stream, I've been playing so much Valorant lately because it was the only game that I can actually have easily access to. It's kind of confusing, but also at the same time, it's like, oof. It's just so much things that you have to think about. So, what we're gonna end off in the next few minutes before this video ends. So, Persona 3 Reload is actually one of those games that I adored so much. I played the original, I have it the PSP version, and I'm playing Kotone. So if in the future, once I finish Persona 3 Reload, I'm gonna be actually doing another modded version of Persona 3. It's gonna be the FAMC route. So when I say the FAMC route, it's gonna be a modded version. Instead of Makoto, it's gonna be Minato, or not Minato. That's actually Makoto's alternate name. It's Kotone. That's her name, Kotone, and it's just gonna be basically it's just a lot of. It's just gonna be like those skin changes. That's just basically it, most of the time, and sometimes it's how I see it. But what difficulty am I gonna play this on? So I'm not gonna be playing merciless mode on the modded version of the FMC route because that's good. That's why would I do that? So I'm probably gonna play somewhere around the middle, where it's not too hard, but not too easy, in a sense. So that's the future plan. Another plan that I'm doing, which is Final Fantasy X, the Persona 3 Chess of Phase, and also the Katone, Final Fantasy. Well, I said Final Fantasy already, but there might be some other games I may be doing. Like maybe I might do Resident Evil, like some challenges in Resident Evil. Like, do I do a knife only run? Do I do handgun only runs? Do I play like no upgrades in a sense? It's just how I want to challenge myself because I love to challenge myself in video games where if it's a game where I can easily challenge myself, then I would love to challenge myself. So if you're wondering when I'm ever going to do a donathon, the donathon is going to be sometime in the future. It's not going to be now, but it's going to be like a whole 2 to 3 months of the donathon. The reason why I said at least 2 to 3 months is because I rarely stream that often. I don't stream a lot. So, what else can I say about that? So, besides the donathon in the future, there's no set date yet. But I want to thank you all for listening to me rant, talk for the future. Sometimes, if you need any clarification, just comment at the bottom and I'll be able to answer that as best as I could with the clarity that I have. And I want to make sure that you guys are okay, you guys are healthy, and as always, my name is Oro Amaterasu. If you guys are wondering what my channel is, you guys are watching here on the YouTube channel, and also my twitch.tv and Twitter. You can always find me there, my socials. And as always, we're going to end this off on a nice note. So I want to thank you all for listening to me and making sure that you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!